Boycott the CrossFit Open? Is that what Andrew Hiller just suggested? Because I'm on board. Welcome to the channel, Old Guy Inc. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. As you guys know, I've done like 115 videos, and yeah, I've probably done half a dozen on Andrew, so it's not all that I do, but I do love his content. He's super popular, and I really like to question sometimes his methods just for conversation's sake, but I've been over this before. I believe in Andrew's good intentions and what he's trying to do. I just kind of question sometimes if it's working. Anyways, I just watched his video this morning, Andrew, shout out, and he indirectly kind of mentioned something about the CrossFit Games, the CrossFit Open peaking at something like 400 to 500,000 participants at one point, and then he kind of just quickly mentioned like, oh, what's going to happen if next year there's only 100,000? And then he moved on, right? His video was really an excellent video about Steve Mann, athlete that finished in 11th place, and this whole no rep thing, specifically with that death by wall ball workout. He was talking about his coach, Tommy Hackenbrook, coming out and kind of stating his case. So if you don't know much about that, you're going to want to watch that video, of course, because there's a lot of good information there. But what I'm pulling out of there, right, because in some ways I'm kind of over talking about all the no reps and stuff to some degree, but it's clearly a real problem, and Andrew has proven that, and he's just continuing to not let it go, which is how he's continuing to garner this attention, and I think that is great. However, I want to focus on just a little tiny part of that video where he basically, in my opinion, to read between the lines, talked about maybe what we need to do is put our money where our mouth is, right? And maybe we don't sign up for the Open. Maybe that is the best thing that I've heard him say yet. So instead of spending so much time pointing out a problem that Adrian Bosworth in particular just says is nothing new, it's a problem that's always been around, which is a shitty excuse not to fix it. But the truth is that that's accurate. That this is not a new problem. It is just getting new attention. So I don't see any reason why CrossFit is going to fix it. They don't seem like they're going to fix it. They don't seem interested in fixing it. That's my personal opinion, because Andrew Hiller making videos online currently, I don't think it's not hurting them from a business standpoint. It's not hurting their bottom dollar. We're not tuning in to these events. Matter of fact, what Andrew Hiller is doing is probably increasing viewership. Right? So now more people are probably going to tune into the CrossFit Games just to look for no reps. So this is what I kind of keep saying about how I love what Andrew's doing, but you could misconstrue some of my videos because I do try to point out this other angle of I'm not sure what Andrew's doing is actually working, because I'm not so sure we're not drawing more attention, right? Any attention is good attention when you're running a business for the most part. And I think more people probably were tuned into the semifinals than would normally have been if it wasn't for Andrew, because everybody was sitting home at their couch going, no rep, right? So Andrew's probably bolstered CrossFit's numbers, and from their standpoint, that's kind of what Dave Castro also mentioned on the Savan podcast, was like in this comparison to Stephen A. Smith, which I don't actually think is a compliment, but he basically said we need entertainers. Like the sport of CrossFit's an entertainment business. We need entertainers who are going to talk shit, cause drama, and, do the things that Andrew is doing, like Stephen A. Smith, who is this crazy loudmouth sports figure. But he's not necessarily somebody that we take seriously. So I'm not sure that by creating more interest in CrossFit, even if it's by pointing out negatives, that it's not actually benefiting CrossFit, the business. So I'm not sure they would want to fix that, right? So I'm going to focus in on what I don't think Andrew meant to focus in on, which was, Andrew, that was a great idea. Let's have a goal of showing CrossFit that we can affect their bottom line. I mean, now sign me up. I'm all for that. Let's call for a boycott of the CrossFit Open. Let's say, because we can still all do it. If you want to do the workouts, you can still do them at your gym. You can do them in your garage. You don't have to give them your $20. Why don't we boycott the Open? And I'm giving Andrew credit for the idea. Let's just plummet the numbers and then let the feedback be, yeah, we're not signing up until you prove to us that you have fixed the online system. There it is. That's it. 5 minutes on Father's Day, super short video, but that's what I'm garnering out of Andrew's video this morning. I do think Steve, man, is getting screwed. I think that system is broke, everything else, but I think I just kind of laid out for you one point of view as to how all of this attention that Andrew is bringing to CrossFit is not necessarily negatively affecting CrossFit. Why would a business want to change something when the height of interest is peaked in what they're doing? Now, you might not see the logic in that, but there's a lot of things that people who are good at business do that normal people don't really understand or don't think makes a lot of sense. And that's why they're successful business owners. Okay. So that's just something to think about. I throw that there out to you, Andrew. Think about that little comment you made. Let's maybe take that a little bit more seriously, and maybe we can really, really make a difference. Let's ride the wave of everything you've pointed out. I think we have CrossFit thinking it might be a good thing for them. Okay, right? Because now you're the Stephen A. Smith, the guy who says all the outlandish stuff and causes sensational headlines. You're that guy that Dave Castro said CrossFit needed. So he's excited for you because he thinks you're actually helping CrossFit. Think about that. Dave Castro just said on your buddy's podcast that he thinks you're good for CrossFit. But I'm not sure that's good for you and your actual mission. Think about that. Okay, so you want to know what's not good for CrossFit? If all of a sudden Andrew Hiller is leading this new protest, okay, to boycott the Open next year and hit their bottom dollar, because it's going to go across the board, right? Less people competing in the Open, less people competing in quarterfinals, semifinals, like to some degree. I mean, when it gets super low, you're going to have the same numbers maybe at semifinals and stuff, but you get what I'm saying. You want to hurt them. You want to really make them take notice. It's not saying that they're fucked up on 100 videos. It's hitting them in the pocketbook. Andrew, talk to me. What do you think? Let's do this shit.